Hello. In this week's Torah portion, Shlach Lecha, Moses sends 12 spies to scout out the land of Israel at the request of the people. Why? Because the people are not ready to accept God's statements that the land is good and that He will grant them victory against its inhabitants. What happens? 10 of the 12 spies bring back an alarming report, saying that the enemy is too strong to be defeated. This, of course, demoralizes the people. God then gets angry and decrees 40 years of wandering to ensure that the doubters die a natural death before reaching the land. Let us ask the question a lot of people have asked over the centuries. What did the spies do wrong? Didn't they do what spies are supposed to do? First, let's read the account of this event in the Torah. Quote, "The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Shlach Lecha, send out for yourself men who will scout the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the children of Israel." So Moses sent 12 righteous men of distinction, including Joshua and Caleb, and Moses said to them, "Find out, what kind of land is it? Are the people who inhabit it strong or weak? Are there few or many? Is the land good or bad? Are the cities in camps or in fortresses? Is the soil fat or lean? Are there any trees in it or not?" So they went up and explored the land and returned 40 days later. They came to Moses and Aaron and all of Israel, and 10 of the 12 spies reported, "The land is flowing with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. However, the inhabitants are mighty, and the cities are extremely huge and fortified. We are unable to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. The land consumes its inhabitants, and all the people we saw in it are men of stature, giants, descended from the giants. In our eyes, we seemed like grasshoppers, and so were we in their eyes." The entire community raised their voices and shouted, and the people wept on that night. They complained to Moses and Aaron, saying, "Why does the Lord bring us to this land to fall by the sword? Our wives and children will be as spoils. Is it not better for us to return to Egypt? Let us appoint a leader and return to Egypt." Moses and Aaron fell on their faces, and Joshua and Caleb, the two descending spies, tore their clothes and said, "The land is exceedingly good. The Lord will bring us there and give it to us. Do not fear the inhabitants, because their protection is removed from them, and the Lord is with us. Do not fear them." The entire congregation threatened to pelt them with stones. The Lord said to Moses, "How long will this people provoke me? How much longer will they not believe in me after all the signs I have performed in their midst? I will strike them with a plague and annihilate them." Moses said, "But then the nations will say, since the Lord lacked the ability to give Israel the land, He slaughtered them in the desert. Please forgive." And the Lord said, "I forgive. However, how much longer will I have to put up with this evil congregation? All those from the age of 20 and up shall not come into the land, except Caleb and Joshua. And I will bring your infants there. But as for you, your corpses shall fall in this desert after wandering for 40 years. The 10 spies who spread an evil report about the land died in a plague. The people said, "We are ready to go up to the place of which the Lord spoke, for we have sinned." Unquote. The spies' report came on the 9th of Av. The Mishnah says that every major disaster in Jewish history is connected to this date, beginning with the incident of the spies. Now, let us give 10 possible answers to the question, what did the spies do wrong? The first reason is the obvious one. They scared and demoralized the people. As a counter, however, note that 39 years later, Moses himself said the same to their children as they were about to enter the promised land. Moses said to them, "You will be coming to conquer nations that are greater and more powerful than you, with great cities fortified to the skies. They are a great nation, as tall as giants." One can counter this by arguing that Moses was saying that to young men to bring some realism into their enthusiasm. Second, they doubted God's power. Their very mission implied that they doubted the value of God's gift and God's ability to deliver it. Note that God said, "Send for yourself spies," meaning, I'm not commanding you, but if you wish, you may send spies. Indeed, the people had come to Moses asking for precisely that. The Talmud reports that God told Moses, "I told them that the land is good by their lives. Now I will give them the opportunity to fall into error through the words of the spies so that they will not inherit it." On the other hand, the Ramban notes that spying for military preparations is acceptable. Indeed, the Torah does not tell us to rely on miracles. It is the spies' presentation of their report that was not okay, said the Ramban. Third, the spies may have thought God had changed his mind. They reasoned that since Israel had sinned when they built the golden calf, and in many other instances, God may not honor his promise of the land. The Hafetz Haim writes, they asked themselves, why is God treating us like royalty when we are not deserving of such treatment? Because of their sense of unworthiness, the Jewish people could not have absolute trust in God. Fourth, the spies did not do a thorough job. Moses had tasked the spies, find out if the people who inhabit the land are strong or weak. This implies both physically and morally. They did not report or did not try to find out what the enemy thought of them. Indeed, the book of Judges tells us that the inhabitants feared the Jews. 40 years after the incident of the earlier spies, Rahav in Jericho tells the spies sent by Joshua, quote, I know that the Lord has given you the land, and that a great fear of you has fallen upon us. All the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. As soon as we heard of the miracles God performed for you, our hearts melted. No courage remained in any man because of you. And the Jews themselves knew that. Earlier in their song at the sea, they had said, quote, the people of Canaan will melt away. Terror and dread will fall on them. The spies made unwarranted assumptions the other way. They said, in our eyes we seemed like grasshoppers, and so were we in their eyes. In the Talmud, Rabbi Mesharsheya asks, quote, the spies were liars. As regards in our eyes we seemed like grasshoppers, very well. But how could they know that, quote, so were we in their eyes, unquote? How did the spies know how the inhabitants saw the Jews? Fifth, Maimonides teaches that the spies were fearful because they had been slaves. For that, their fear was greater than their faith. They were not ready to fight battles and be free in their own lands. That would take a new generation, born in freedom. Sixth, the spies wanted to continue to live in the deserts, in isolation, with a direct spiritual connection to God. Hasidic master Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Riyadi teaches that the spies did not doubt Israel could win battles. They just did not want to lose their unique relationship with God in the deserts, removed from civilization and its problems. They did not want to become just another nation. They were not ready to leave home and launch. But God wanted engagement with the world, not retreat from it. Seventh, the spies went beyond their mission. Nachmanides and others comment that spies are only supposed to provide hard information dispassionately. They have no business coloring their report with alarmist language or advising on a course of action. Eighth, the spies gave their report to the entire people. Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch notes that spies are supposed to report only to the leaders, not to the whole people. The leaders then decide what to disclose, to whom, and when. Ninth, the spies spoke Lashon Hara against the land and gods. The Talmud says, quote, it was taught. Rabbi Elazar ben Perata said, come and see how great is the power of an evil tongue. From where do we know its power? From the spies. Because if this is what happens to those who bring an evil report against wood and stones, how much more will it happen to one who brings an evil report against his neighbor? How does it follow? Perhaps it is as explained by Rabbi Hanina ben Papa, who said, a stark thing did the spies say in that hour, as it is written, for they are stronger than we. The implication being stronger than God, since God is with us. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Meir, the spies began with a true report and then spoke ill, because in any piece of slander, you need some truth in the beginning to be heard through to the end. Finally, the spies were affected by their people's attitudes. Or HaHayim notes that when one represents another, he is affected by the mindset of that other. Israel was distrustful of Hashem, and this colored the spies' judgments. Perhaps these speculations shed some light on this disturbing incident in the Torah. Shabbat Shalom.